Jared Roth here, professional dunker and creator of Adapt Plyometric Training. Welcome to my channel. Hope you're having a great day. Today we will be working on a hand grip and hand strengthening workout. So if you have jammed your finger or your wrist and you're coming back rehabbing your hand, obviously depending on where your hand is at, I would always get a doctor's recommendation first before beginning any exercise program. For me, I'm sharing my experience. 3 weeks ago, I jammed my finger on a between the legs behind the back dunk. I got rim stuffed and tried to still grab the rim, so I jammed my finger a little bit. I've still been dunking with it and lifting. And the things that have helped, aside from the exercises before I show you, is number one, hand massage. My hands is not something I've typically spent a lot of time massaging, so using lotion and massaging the hands for 5 to 10 minutes. You can massage one at a time, or you can kind of just be creative, massage it as you go. But you can also like do one finger, like focusing on massaging the other hand. That can help. So massage. Another thing is heat and cold therapy. So you could put your hand in a warm glass of water with some Epsom salt. I recommend putting about 1/4 of a cup of Epsom salt and just let your hand soak in there for 10 minutes. You can also do that in the bathtub. With ice, you could take an ice bath and keep your hand in there for 10 minutes. All right, so we have massage, we have hot and cold therapy. Another thing that's gonna help you with regaining strength in your hand is compression. So what I like to do is you have a compression wrap, which I'll show you, and you wrap your finger with that, and that's just to keep the compression helps make more blood flow go to that area. So that's going to allow your muscles to have a lot of blood flow and help with healing. Now, on to the exercises. I have these 3 pieces of equipment here. These are different resistance. This is the lightest, this is medium, this is the heavy resistance, which is like 11 pounds. This one's 6, and this one's about 9 pounds of resistance. Now, what you do with these is they have a slot for each finger. So you put your thumb, put all your fingers in, and you're just going to be spreading your hand right here. And you make sure that the movement is controlled. They have some pretty good instructions that came on the box with making sure your movements is controlled. And you want to get a slight isometric hold when you're extending those rubber bands, and then as they come back together. And you can see all the muscles in the hand being worked. So what I did for this, I just completed my routine. It took about 10 minutes. I did 10 minutes total. First I did 15 reps of this, then I switched hands, did the other hand. Okay. Next, I did 2 fingers at a time curls. So it looks like this. You'll put 2 fingers in, with 2 fingers in the rubber band, and you go right here. You're gonna create tension with the other hand, pulling it, and you're gonna curl your fingers towards you. I want you to see the range of motion all the way curled, all the way to that position you would be making the fist. So I noticed you want to try to keep the bands on the upper half of your finger But this is basically curls for your fingers, which this equipment allows you to do that no other equipment would allow you to do. So I do 10 of those. Then I switch to the 2 fingers in the middle, my ring finger and middle finger. Same thing. 10 reps. Right here. And really trying to get that whole range of motion. Slow on the out. Make sure you hold it when you bring it towards you. Then slowly control the band back out. Control in, squeeze, hold it for a second, control out. Now we got those 2 middle fingers. Now we have our ring and pinky finger. So same thing, creating tension with our other hand here. And you're going pulling, doing curls for the fingers. So we're gonna complete 10 repetitions, slow, focusing on the contraction and being able to control the resistance. All right. So that's the second exercise. You're gonna do that on both hands. After you complete that, what I did is I used these bands. Now I use these. These are the grippers. So what I did is I held both right here, and you're gonna squeeze it as tight as you can, like you're making a fist. You also want to keep your forearms active, engaging your forearms, squeezing your hands and your forearms as hard as you can, and you're gonna hold this for 1 minute. After 30 seconds, since these are 2 different resistances, you're gonna change hands. So you're gonna do 30 seconds with the orange in the right and the blue in the left, and then no rest, switch hands, squeeze. Now this is a tough one for me as my left ring finger is still healing. We still have some inflammation. It's still healing, but I'm using it. As you can see, my ring finger does have some inflammation. It's been 3 weeks and it's still healing. So I'm using these exercises to heal my hand. Now, another thing that you can do with these rings that I seen on the box is you can actually stretch your fingers in them. So what you're gonna do is put all 5 fingers in, and you can hold this for a minute. Now what this is doing is this is stretching all the muscles here in your fingers after you just completed some good eccentric, concentric movements and some isometrics. Now we're getting a nice good stretch just to stretch out those fingers. So you can hold that for a minute on each one. Just getting all 5 fingers in. Here should look like that. So I'm stretching this top part of the fingers, and it's also letting you have the flexibility in your hand to really be able to, so it's all about the ability to be able to spread your hands. As you see, I have 8.5-inch hands. I palm the ball with 2 fingers up and down. I throw the ball with 2 fingers to myself. Most people can't even palm a basketball, but as a professional dunker, I use my hands a lot. So those are 3 exercises to do with these, which is going to help you tremendously. Now, another exercise is going to be these hand grippers. These are good old-fashioned metal hand grippers. These have been around for as long as I can remember. Now these, I kind of, I had seen these a few months back, maybe like a year ago, and I didn't really think much of it because they had testimonies of like people's forearms getting crazy ripped with all these veins and stuff, and me having this ring finger, jammed finger, had me kind of look into ways, how can I rehab my hand? How can I eliminate pain as quickly as possible? Because I don't want this to affect what I have to do with holding onto the ball and grabbing the rim. The sport I'm involved in involves a lot of force through the hands. You have to be able to create force while holding the ball and force when slamming that ball through the rim. I'm a power dunker, so I like to make the ball bounce 20 feet into the air after I dunk it, or 50 meters away to have to go run after the ball with how hard I dunk it. So yeah, these I do recommend. It's 15 bucks. You can find it on Amazon. I'll link in the bio for the brand that I got. These are hand grippers, right? So what I did with these is 1 minute, squeeze it as hard as you can, squeeze, and you're gonna squeeze your forearm muscles too. So you're squeezing these as hard as you can, and you have an isometric contraction of the forearm. You're squeezing your forearm muscles, keeping those engaged, and you're squeezing those hands as hard as you can, having that ability to grip, and you're gonna hold that for 1 minute. All right, so that's 4 exercises. The last one I have 2 more for you. The last one don't involve resistance, and you're gonna do this. You're gonna do like the ET. I don't know if everybody could do this. I like to do one hand at a time and then go like this. And that's just having that range of motion laterally in the hands. And you can also isolate each finger, just the pinky. Now just these 2. And then you could do 3, which I kind of have to look at to even focus. Just isolating the index finger and doing that on both hands. See, this is the hand that I really need work, and I feel this a lot, that stretch. When I do this lateral motion, I feel the stretch here in the sides of my finger. So we're going here, here, then we're isolating the pinky, which I feel a lot more in this hand, as this is the hand that has the jammed finger. And then isolating that ET phone home. Yes, aliens are real, ET phone home. As you can see, aliens are real if you watch my dunks at all. Then we got here, isolating that index finger, and you see my other hand wanting to move. We got so much nerves in our hands and our feet, and the other endpoint, our head. So these are our endpoints. These are our main energy endpoints, our fingers, our toes, our brain. So this is really good to strengthen your hands and feet. It's going to assist you in whatever sport you're doing. It's also, these exercises have the potential of thickening your fingers, making your hands just overall stronger if you want thicker, more muscular hands or muscular fingers. I know most people are worried about their biceps and triceps. Hands, if you're in sports, anything, especially football, baseball, basketball, sports involving your feet, your hands, they do involve your feet too, but those sports that you need to be able to throw and catch a ball and shoot a ball, hands is very important. Another thing I want you to be aware of is the hyperarch mechanism of the hand. So if you think about our feet, when you squeeze your feet into the ground, that tibia tendon right in front of our ankle pops out, and it's very strong, and that's what is our ankle stabilizer and able to absorb contact, ground contact. So with our hand, our stabilization is here in the wrist, right? You got to have a stable wrist. If you're going to punch someone or just having that grip strength, you have a stable wrist. So these tendons along our thumb, I'm trying to get you to see it. These tendons along our thumb and just the tendons and the bones, all the muscles around our bones that strengthen our hands, they got to be strong. You got to be able to have a stable wrist. And the last stretch that is a manual hand exercise with no equipment is like this. So relax your hand, then you go here, then you go here, then you go here. And this is you might feel this position is the one that is the hardest, like for me. So relaxed here, here, and then here. And you're feeling that stretch along the top of the fingers. Then I relax the hand, here, here, here. Relax the hand, here, here, here. And as you can see, my fingers are a little shaky right now. I already did my 10 minutes of exercise for my hands. I would recommend to do this every other day. If you're gonna do it every day, do less volume. Don't do all the exercises at once. But if you are gonna do all these exercises as the session, I would recommend to do this maybe 1 to 3 times a week, starting off. And yeah, these are the exercises to strengthen your hand. I'm only sharing this information because on this journey, I thought this was an interesting topic and I looked it up on YouTube, didn't see too much information on strengthening the hands and the fingers in specific. So I hope this video helps you. If it does, drop a like and make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, you could reach out to me by email, jaredroth@yahoo.com. It will be in the link below. Or you can reach me on social media. My Instagram is jroth6bounce. That's where I post a lot of my dunk and training highlights. Make sure to support